My parents, they were a bit worried, but I explained to them how we protect ourselves. When we go for call, we use the PPE, then we minimize contact.
So at that point in time, we were all running high on adrenaline. There wasn't much time to think about anything else except the mission at hand.
So I was thinking okay, these are our Singaporean people and they have been stranded there for quite some time, and I also got to know that there will be some children as well. So I thought I want to get them back to our country.
When we first heard about the virus, I was a bit anxious. But because we were equipped with all the safety measures and we were trained in when we go for calls what we have to do. My paramedic is quite experienced, so anxious but confident.
Even though we are at high risk of coming into contact with COVID-19 patients, we are well protected. The PPEs that we are using, the sort of disinfecting, cleaning agents, the equipment that we're using to clean the ambulance. Before we go home, we will do a shower, we will wipe down, just go home clean.
At the initial onset, I believe everyone is rather alarmed when we are dressed in our PPE, responding to calls. Then tendency is they will try to walk away or avoid us.
Do not be afraid or stressed out when you see us going for calls in PPE. Maybe you assume that we are going for a suspected case, but that's not the case. It's our requirement, so we have to wear the full PPE to protect ourselves.
There is not much change to the routine, except that sometimes we have more calls to attend to initially. When it just started, we were all rather calm because we know that we have our PPE in place and that will keep us safe.
The one memorable thing that I can take away from this is I can proudly say that I served as a frontline EMT during this COVID-19.
Before the trip, there was the fear of getting the virus, because you must understand that in late January and early February at that time, the world had a very superficial understanding about what the virus was all about. We are not sure about the origin, about the modes of transmission.
I knew that I would volunteer for this deployment, and everything happened pretty quickly. We attended quite a number of briefings, and between my team leader and I, Philip, we have multiple discussions on what to expect on the ground.
When we arrived, when your plane was hovering over Yangtze River and about to approach the airport, you could see that all the city was brightly lit. The streets were all brightly lit, but there was not a single car, not a single vehicle. There was nobody on the streets.
And our mission was to really, make sure that the Singaporeans are there. When we take attendance, we make sure that they are aware of what is expected of them, or what they can expect to happen when they arrive in Singapore, and also to address a lot of their concerns. And I must say that there were quite a number of candid moments when I suddenly speak in Singlish, and then Singaporeans will break into a smile and they'll say, okay lah, so later where are we going to be quarantined? MBS, So some of them were still quite in good spirits. Actually, at that point in time, there was really nothing much I could do about it, because definitely I would have met the child, because we were talking to each and every Singaporean and interacting with their children as well during the entire process. But all I could do was keep the faith and hope that he recovers well. Even though my family was supportive, but that came as a surprise because I was thinking, oh dear, what do I say to them? But I did have to assure them that, if you don't hear from me, it doesn't mean that something has happened. It means that I'm still doing my job. Don't worry about me. When I am back in Singapore, you will hear from me. So true enough, they left me to do my job.
This flight is considered quite a high-risk flight. So I think the management wants officers who are involved to be comfortable with clearing these passengers. Some of the kids were quite scared because we are wearing, we look like an alien for them maybe. So some of the kids, if I have the time and they were looking at me, then I just do like those tiny waves. So then, at least some of them are quite responsive after that, so they look less scared. So I feel so sad because they are not able to care for themselves. So I know, like even us as an adult, if we were to wear the mask the whole flight, I think they would be very uncomfortable. We ourselves would be uncomfortable. So what more for the kids? At least I know that as long as they are back here safe, everything should be okay. At least that's the first step. My parents they're not that worried. I already informed them that we did wear our protective gears and there are sanitizers on hand also. So as my mom works in a hospital, so she also goes through the same thing that we do. For that, I feel like I also want to do a part, ensure that everyone comes back safely. Yes, I would not hesitate to volunteer myself again. We feel very grateful to have this experience.